All right, so day 13, let's talk about the new Hellraiser. This is a complete reboot from the other films, which genuinely surprised me because you don't really get that nowadays. Usually it's like a sequel reboot of a franchise like Halloween, or they're just keep going like Chucky or stuff like that, where like it's not really much anymore where I see reboots that completely disregard the last canon, like the last franchise canon with, for instance, Hellraiser, which is surprising because Hellraiser has been through a lot. The franchise, love the first Hellraiser. I think it's fantastic. It's truly a fantastic horror movie. Some of the sequels I think are okay, and then some of them are pretty bad or awful. Hellraiser Revelations, for example, is one of the worst horror movies I've ever seen, and I hate to say that because I feel like when most people say this is the worst movie I've ever seen or one of the worst, I kind of gawk at them, but this is how I feel about Hellraiser Revelations. It is truly one of the worst. It was filmed on a camera from 1995, it looks like, in that movie. But Hellraiser has had a lot of sequels, and it has been done to death, the franchise. So I guess I understand that they're doing a reboot. In this one, it is totally different. The fact that it is about this guy named Voight, who is the one who has the box, who is the one trying to get the Cenobites to summon Leviathan. But you've got him, and then you got the main character Riley, who is a drug addict, and then she gets sucked into this whole ordeal. And I thought that was well done. I think overall the movie does a good job of really kind of reinvigorating the franchise, or rejuvenating the franchise in a way where I was kind of surprised. Honestly, though, overall, I thought this was totally serviceable, but it's not one I'll really watch again. I think that it's easily a cut above most of the sequels. The last couple sequels look like they were made for $5 each. Hellraiser Revelations, for example. Hellraiser Judgment was definitely better looking than Revelations, but it still was really low budget. But yeah, it's funny to see the fact that this has still gone on, and now they had to reboot it because, like I said, this movie does a good job of rebooting the characters, making a story different and interesting. Like, it's not the same story as the original movie; it's the second adaptation of second adaptation of the story that this is based on by Clive Barker. I forgot what the name was. It's not Hellraiser. It's something else for the short story he did, or story that he did. This movie looks really beautiful. It's really well made with how it looks. It looks memorable. The characters are fine. The gore is good. It really feels gross. But the thing that sucks is that this one really, while being a good reboot, this one really didn't get anywhere close to the first one for me. And I think that looking at the fact that this movie is a reboot of it kind of just, to me, is its detriment already, because whenever you reboot something, you're already going to pick at it. And it sucks because this movie does have good things about it visually. The acting's good. The characters are fine. The woman who plays New Pinhead is really good. But she's missing that thing that Doug Bradley had with his line deliveries. Like, this woman is fine playing this role. I think she's great in it. But she doesn't have any moments that really make me remember it. I remember in the original Hellraiser, the way that Doug Bradley reacts and says stuff as Pinhead is really creepy and really fun. And just, this one she's way serious and droll, and not in a bad way. I'm not saying that her performance is bad. It was good, but it's just not as memorable. And the story, I think, is not as memorable, even though it's on a way better curve than most of the sequels. It's way better than most of the sequels, of course. And it does a good job of making the movie look good. It's got good effects, good acting. New Pinhead's good. But honestly, it's just kind of forgettable. If I'm going to be honest, I really kind of think this one I'm not going to remember and really rewatch again. But it's a great step in the right direction in terms of making a movie this time, as opposed to the last couple sequels. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, really overall, this one is pretty forgettable. Nothing really memorable to me. It's not a bad movie at all. It's just totally serviceable. Just another one of those sequels slash remakes slash reboots slash blah 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 that just kind of falls in that forgettable category. Like, it's totally serviceable. It's just not anything I'm gonna remember. So that's it on day 13. Day 14, tomorrow, Halloween Ends. So excited for Halloween Ends. Can't wait. So that'll be here tomorrow. See you guys later. Take care.